Well, huge technological advances now allow oil companies to go tens of thousands of feet down to reach offshore oil. But where's that kind of ingenuity and innovation when it comes to oil spill response? Lee Patrick Sullivan takes a look at high-tech drillers cleaning up with rakes and shovels.
If we want to discuss the what-ifs looking back, I think you could fill in the blanks of understanding if these machines were already deployed.
The company actor Kevin Costner has invested in is one of hundreds, saying they have the solution to cleaning up the environmental nightmare caused by the Deepwater Horizon gusher. One thing they all have in common, none of them are major oil companies. Despite billions in annual profits over the past few decades, most of the big oil R&D money has gone into drilling techniques, not spill cleanup. That leaves it up to smaller companies like Ecosphere Technologies. And like Costner's company, Ecosphere also has celebrity investors, former Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks Troy Aikman and Drew Bledsoe. The folks at Mid-Gulf Recovery Systems, a veteran disaster cleanup company, have teamed up with Ecosphere. 2 of their cleanup units have been shipped to New Orleans, waiting to get a contract with BP.
Now, this isn't something you guys built for the cameras. This can go on a barge and work today.
This will go on the barge and work today. You know, this unit, the unit outside, the second unit that will accompany this one, will go on the barge and go to work. No, this isn't for show. It looks nice, but it's not for show.
Like Costner's machine, the Ecosphere system uses a centrifuge to separate oil from water. The Ecosphere people say their large unit can clean more than 800,000 gallons of water a day, which is twice as much as Costner's machine. And besides separating water and oil, the unit also injects oxygen back into the processed water. Think of it as a B12 shot for the ecosystem. The company says it will promote a quicker recovery time for plants and animals, as well as create millions of oxygen bubbles, pushing oil to the surface, making it easier to clean up.
And this is basically 6th grade physics. Oil and water don't mix, and if you spin them, one's heavier than the other and it separates.
On the centrifuge, yes. So that the trick is getting the centrifuge to turn at 2,000 Gs. But because, again, of this technology here, that water is treated and it's put in the mindset of highly oxygenated water. So when you put it back in, it's not only going to float up the material to help clean, but it's going to kind of revitalize the ecosystem.
BP has received more than 20,000 proposals for inventions to help clean up the Gulf. They've narrowed it down to about 500, and one of those finalists is Envirovaraxel Technology. Their machine creates a vortex to separate oil from water, and company officials say a vortex machine can process more water than a centrifuge, and it has a smaller footprint.
We bring a new way of doing separation that can increase oil recovery by over 10 times.
Kyriakos Papadopoulos is a professor in bio and chemical engineering at Tulane University. He says it's not just BP. All the big oil companies are not prepared for major spills.
Hopefully this spill is going to be one that is going to promote interest in research and development as to how to clean oil spills.
What makes you guys so smart? How come BP doesn't have this?
Well,
they need something like this. Why don't they have 30 of these units on a barge ready to go at any one time?
This is like a continuing Katrina. Instead of the storm just hitting and now we're cleaning up, it just keeps coming. And that's when we got involved in. So I really don't think that the need now, the need is actually coming forth now because of something like this. It's bringing everything to the forefront.
As for when the oil washes up on the beaches and the marshlands in the Gulf, Professor Papadopoulos says there may not be a high-tech solution because bringing in machines for the cleanup could do more harm than good.
You cannot just go there and bring machinery and press down the sediment, because you are going to create a lot of problems doing that on the ecosystem that tries to remediate itself.
Now, these units aren't cheap. Each Ecosphere machine costs close to $3 million, but the oil that is recovered will be sent back to BP and sold on the world market.
The technology is expensive getting going, but after you get going, it basically runs out a percentage of your cost. You know, if we can return 70,000 barrels a day to, in this case, BP, then what exactly is that worth? You're probably going to get these units for free.
Now, some of this technology is actually in use right now. Take the folks over at Ecosphere, for example. Several of their units are up in Arkansas cleaning up water near a refinery. But the owners of that refinery said if those units are needed in the Gulf, they will let them go. On the coast of Louisiana, Lee Patrick Sullivan, Clean Skies News.